Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I don't intend to extend our debate on SB 3 any longer than it needs to be. We've heard a lot from those for and against Senate Bill 3, what it does and does not do. We've heard a lot of debate on behalf of those who cannot speak for themselves. And as we make our decision, I believe that we need to come to grips with something that's really at the core of this debate. We've heard a lot about science. This is not about science. We've heard about medicine. This is not about medicine. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a public policy debate. This is a public policy debate that is well settled in most countries in the world. I would just like to take a moment to read a list of countries that ban abortions after 12 to 14 weeks, elective abortions, where there need to be multiple physician sign-offs in order to proceed after their threshold. Mr. Speaker, those countries are Belarus, the Czech Republic, Denmark, Norway, Portugal, which has a 10-week threshold, Spain, France, Germany, Switzerland, Belgium, Cuba, and as of 2014, Vietnam, which has a 22-week threshold. Mr. Speaker, we need to come to grips with what this public policy debate is really about. Very rarely do we stand in this chamber to defend an altruistic perspective. Those who stand for SB 3, as spoken very clearly by my colleagues, are standing up for people who cannot speak for themselves, people who have a conscience. And by right of them having a conscience, they want to be alive. There is no big special interest supporting them. They don't have a PAC. They don't have bank accounts. Mr. Speaker, those in the public, I'm not talking about here, who stand up against bills like SB 3, they're OBGYNs, they're doctors, they're medical facilities, they're facilities that perform abortions. For some, it's a cause, but for those facilities, don't make the mistake of not realizing that they are being paid to perform these services. Mr. Speaker, according to Planned Parenthood, an abortion that is performed between 22 and 24 weeks costs about $3,275. Remember that for every one of those procedures, that is not someone donating their time. A doctor from New York, Dr. Anthony Levantino, came forward and said that he routinely would receive $250 to $500 cash for every visit for someone who came into his office to perform abortions. And on a day with 3 hours worth of abortion work, it wasn't uncommon for him to take $4,500 home. And on a day full of abortions, he was taking $10,000 to $15,000 to the bank. Mr. Speaker, we have our minds made up. But what we need to understand is that for those of us that it is a cause for or against this bill, we cannot ignore that there is a billion-dollar industry out there that is trying to influence the public debate that we are having in this chamber. And I believe, Mr. Speaker, that we will make the right decision tonight. And I hope and pray that the governor will make the right decision when the bill comes to his desk. Because we need to speak for those who don't have a PAC. We need to speak for those who don't have a say in this public debate. I ask for an affirmative vote on SB 3. Thank you.